Hello, beautiful souls. So, I'm here with a spirit message of the day. And what that is basically some wisdom that I took from, hi, Trisha, that I received from one of the messages that came from a session, a channeling session that I did today. And it really touched me and moved me, and I wanted to share it with you. And it's not necessarily that it's new information as much as it is something that came from such a beautiful soul for the benefit of this soul's daughter. So I was working with a client whose father passed, I don't know, maybe a dozen years ago, and so he's missed out, at least in body, on a lot of her triumphs and accomplishments. She's a very accomplished physician, and when she asked me to channel him, what she wanted from him was was advice. What would he have to share with her now? What guidance can he provide for her at this point in time? And being a daughter myself and having a close relationship with my own father, I could really feel the how much she missed the presence of her dad. So when I channeled him, he lovingly came forward immediately, and his message was perfect, of course. And it was basically guiding her back to the importance of love. And it wasn't about how to be a loving partner to someone else or how to be a better, physician or what advice he might have for her in a particular direction or area of her life. He focused on love for self. He focused on her love for herself, and spoke to the importance and to the truth of the fact that we can only be of a true loving presence on this planet if we are a true loving presence for ourselves. And it's a simple concept, but it is one that quite often we're not paying attention to. We are oftentimes in... That is my dog digging the carpet behind my chair. We're oftentimes in the action of serving... Come here, buddy. Of serving everybody else around us, and in the inaction of sourcing ourselves with the loving energy that we are needing. And then we end up looking to the outside for that loving energy, and it doesn't come, at least not well, from external sources. That's not where we're meant to be drawing from. So his message and the words and the language and the guidance that he provided to her, I'm taking for myself and I'm sharing with all of you. If we can find a place of deeper love for ourselves, and if we can find a practice of deeper self-love, and that means different things to all of us, but each of us knows when we feel most nurtured and most nourished and most in fulfillment and gratitude. And we know the actions that lead us there. We know the practices that support us in that way because we've felt it before. By the time we are adults, we can name a great many moments where we have felt fulfillment. And those moments can be created, need to be created by us, for us. And then what we have to offer to the world at large is truly an endless flow. It is the ripple effect of operating from a full tank, if you will, versus scrambling to serve others from a place of lack. And this, I'm taking this all the way through to envisioning a world in which if each of us were to tap into that place of deep self-love, can you imagine with me what kind of world that would look like? Why would violence, how could violence even exist if the beings who are perpetrating the violence love themselves? How is that even possible? And how could hatred be in existence if those who are in the action and act of hate truly love themselves? I don't think they can coexist. I think that what we would consider the great evils of our time exist from the non-love, from the place of non-love. And if you want to take it to an extreme, from a place of self-loathing or self-hatred, and certainly of fear. So that is the spirit message of the day. And now I want to share a very quick and funny story that also came from a different channeling session today. And that is, I was channeling actually for another client who was asking to hear from the higher self of her father, who is alive and on the earth right now. That's what alive means. And so her dear father has Alzheimer's and dementia. And so she, in the heartbreaking process of moving through dementia and Alzheimer's with a loved one, with a parent, she was asking to hear from his essence, his soul's communication. How can she be of greater support to him? And what does he need from her? And how can they stay connected? And that message was completely beautiful as well. But something funny happened during the transmission of that message. And that was, he was setting the stage for something, showing me a lot of different images to support the general message that he was giving to her. And there was this word, and it's a very simple word. The word was weapon. But I could not get the word to come through. Every now and then when I'm channeling, I will pause briefly to allow for a particular word or phrase or something to kind of, to give some room for that to come through. Because the messages come through very quickly and generally in a very smooth flow. And every now and then I have to pause and let some extra time and space to allow for a particular word or a phrase. This time, though, the word wouldn't come. There was no way that the word weapon, my brain couldn't even access it. And he showed me all types of weaponry. He showed me in the visualization guns and knives and swords and all manner of things, grenades. But I could not, for the life of me, bring in the word weapon. And so what I ended up doing was I paused in the message and I just had to describe to her what I was seeing. And I said, I can't get this word. It is one word. It's a simple word, but it's just not coming. I don't think I'm going to be able to grab that word. But basically what he's talking about are implements that bring harm to other people. That's how I had to kind of circumlocute to get her to understand what the description was of the word that I couldn't access. And so then I went back to the message and finished the message, and it was frustrating. I felt frustrated, right? It's just like anytime you can't think of something and it's on the tip of your tongue and you know it and you can't call it forward. It's frustrating. So I was trying not to get frustrated in that process of getting stuck on such a simple word that still wasn't coming through. And we processed the message, and throughout the rest of that session, I didn't get the word. But as I went to tune back in to her father to bring she'd asked him, I think, another question. He said immediately, "This is what it's like." He was showing me through basically somehow zapping my access to that very simple word, what it feels like to be in his cognitive decline. It was his illustration. It was profound. I don't know that I have felt that before. Yeah, I know, Trisha. Wow, that's crazy he could do that. A little disconcerting too. I'm just joking about no, it is a little disconcerting. I didn't know that could be experienced or accessed either. And it was so real. The whole experience of it for me was so real. And then her experience of my experience of that as well. And so after the session, I left my house, I was driving somewhere, and the word dropped right in. Just boop, weapon. There's the word. And I felt him almost like he was delivering that to me on a silver platter. Oh, and by the way, lady, here's your word. It was so sweet and funny and lighthearted. And she ended up texting me shortly, maybe about an hour after the word dropped in or the word was delivered to me. And she said, I think the word is weapon. And I wrote her back. I said, that is the word. And it just came to me, a short while ago. And I don't know, there's so much magic in this work. There's so much magic in the realm of spirit. And we get to be present to that and grateful for that and tap into that. The fact that I get to tune into this every single day with a variety of people, with the most magnificent of souls. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for working with me, for giving me the honor of bringing forward these incredible messages. And have a beautiful night, beautiful souls.